Hello and welcome to GTO Coach and Go. I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey. I want to thank you for joining us again today. And before we get started, as I always do, I want to remind you, if you've not done so yet, please follow us on our social media channels. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down below and make sure you ring the bell and you'll be notified then whenever we have new content on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn at Group Travel Odyssey and follow our Facebook page as well. Make sure to like that Facebook page. We've got some great social media out there and we'd love for you to take advantage of everything that we have. Today, we are going to be going through a year in review. So we're going to talk about a lot of the features and updates that have happened in GTO that we're rather proud of, and also that we find are most beneficial and helpful to create a more efficient environment for you to do your business. I'm certainly not going to do this by myself, so I'm going to bring on our entire leadership team today. So let's bring on Corey Vries, our director. We've got Sierra, who is our lead accuracy guru, and Christina, who is our lead engineer. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Well, so today we're going to go ahead and go through basically our year in review, everything that well, a lot of the things that we find beneficial that have happened over this past year in GTO. There have been a lot of things that happened, and I do want to start out by saying a lot of this has come from feedback that we've received from a lot of our users. So again, please reach out to us, send in those help desk tickets, put help in the title, and make sure that you let us know whenever you have ideas and things, because these are kind of what drive us through. They get added to our development pipeline, and then we can create a much more efficient GTO for you. So make sure to continue to reach out and give us that feedback. So who wants to get started today on, oh, Corey's going to start. Okay. Why didn't you get to finish? Okay, Corey, what are we going to talk about first today?
Well, first, I just wanted to say publicly that the movers and shakers of GTO right here on your screen today, right? The leadership team at GTO is a great, valuable asset for you in your business, because these are the people that get things done. And I'm super glad that we're talking about the things that we've done over the last year, that we have done, that we have created for you. These are the people that get it all taken care of, and that's super exciting to me to get us all in one place and talk to you about them. We've had an exciting year as well, and so many things to choose from for what it is that we want to talk about. I had to sit down and go, I don't know, I could talk about this, I could talk about this. Just a lot of growth over the last year, and like you said, it comes from the ideas that other people have. The one that I chose today, I chose because one of the things we like to do at GTO is deal with flexibility. Like, some people like to do something one way, some people like to do something another way. And instead of forcing everybody into a box, we try to create ways to make it a little more flexible for you. So mine was the creation of the itinerary builder that we did. If you didn't watch that Coach and Go, please go back to that Coach and Go and check it out, because it is really cool. I'll just sort of review through it real quickly just to show. I'm not going to go step by step. But it's cool because some people don't like to do theirs product by product. Some do, some do not. They like to do it more in a chunk, let's say. So I brought up an old trip here. One of our trips that I actually used, I think, on the Coach and Go. And you'll notice the use create itinerary button. Now, if you're saying to yourself, hey, I don't have that button on my form, that's because you haven't talked to us about implementing it, because it takes a little setup. It can't just be used. You have to talk to us a little bit about it because of the different format of the document that it produces. So if you don't see this, then call us and we'll get you up and running. But basically, to create an itinerary, you'd still do all your products, everything else exactly the same. There's no change there. But you create your itinerary in a different form and using language that you might want to use. I believe I used ChatGPT for my language. So if it sounds great, then I wrote it. And if it sounds terrible, then I blame the internet. But we did a cultural odyssey, 6 days to Germany. And basically what you do is you add the day, your day name, your description, and a picture to any day on your trip. Days are created for your trip as you build it. So all we did was we said, hey, let's add this information to each day. We gave you a chance to put in your own inclusions and non-inclusions for your thing. And then when you return to the main page, it's been saved for you. And when you go to generate a proposal, then when you create the proposal, then that proposal will end up looking like this. Now, this was just our general template, and that's why one of the reasons why you have to come to us is to get this set up the way you'd like it to do. We set it up in a nice little column format. You can see all the bullet points that you did, the pictures, the day, and the day name have all shown up here. It's a little bit flashier, but a little less specific, right? Because I didn't do it product by product. It means that when I added my inclusions and non-inclusions, it means I have to add them in manually, whereas line by line, the system will do it for you. But everything else is the same. Your package pricing, anything else you want on this document, you can have through the document or the itinerary builder. It takes a little bit more time. You're not building your itinerary as you build your trip, but it is a little bit flashier, a little bit more flexible way to go for your itinerary. And that's what we're trying to do. Do you have to use it? Absolutely not. But it is available to you if you want to set it up. I think that in today's world, when you're trying to create the best way possible to present a trip to your customers, you want to use every advantage that you can, like our Quiller thing, which would have been a great thing to talk about this year, but I think we did it last year. So Quiller's been around more than a year now, where we put it out, where we create a website, a web page for you to present your proposal. But this is another nice way you can have your logo, but you are able to add pictures in, which is a feature we had not had before. So I think it's a great feature to add to your list of arrows in your quiver to get that trip sold.
Arrows in your quiver. That's good. I like that.
Thank you. I've been watching a lot of Robin Hood lately. So.
That's excellent. And you did briefly talk about Quiller, and I do want to mention that, as well as having that proposal in there in Quiller, but this year we also did add terms and conditions. So that's something else that you can do through Quiller as well. So even though we did have that for over a year, we continue to tweak the system to give you a little bit more every year. So that's one thing that we did with Quiller this year. So
yeah, and the terms and conditions is great because somebody might say, well, why? I don't need to sell the terms and conditions to people, right? It's your contract. It's just a bunch of legalese. What's super great about doing it on Quiller is the signature is instantaneous. No one can stall and say, though that they didn't have time to to print it out and read it or take it to be signed. It could be e-signed right there, done, delivered. It's a great way to do it. It's been a great big feature for this year.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that, Corey. And what do we want to talk about next? What are some of the other fantastic things that have happened in GTO this year?
I can go next.
Okay.
All right. So I am talking today about our company-specific proposal language. So one of the things that we had gotten a feedback from you all about is that when you make your proposals, you have to repeatedly type in your language that you want for your trip products. So in order to accommodate that and not make that an entry heavy process, we gave you the option to have your language entered the one time for your prices. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in.
Okay, hold on one second. There we go.
Okay, so I am on a trip here. It's a testing trip. And just a quick show you, we did do a coach and go on this topic. So you can go ahead and reference that one for the full instructions about what to do for this. But just a quick show you what you can do is when you do not have language yet added to a product, you can click this Add Language button. And then you can continue to type in whatever you want to type in for your language at this stage. But we're going to cancel out of that for 1 second, and I'm going to flip on over to one I had already entered language on. Flip. So this one I had already entered language. So all you would need to do in order to use the language that I have entered in here, so you can see I've put in some bold as well, is you want to go ahead and edit your trip product. There it is. and then use the member proposal language. And you can see right here, it's confirming that that's the one I'm going to use. And I'll save. And then when I go ahead and generate my proposal, the language that I have entered in will go ahead and show. And again, if I have entered this in for this specific supplier price, and I check this on whenever proposal I have this supplier price on, it can then use that language.
Excellent. We like that. We like having the ability to, have people put their own stuff in, because that's another thing we got asked so many times. What about our own language? And so, yeah, if you want to make it a little more robust, you're welcome to do so, and it saves now. So, okay, Sierra, I think you're up. What would you like to talk about that happened this year in GTO?
Right. Well, I was also super excited about the itinerary builder because, I've been a tour director for years, so I've seen my share of itineraries. So I was super excited when, the team decided to build that. I also really love what Christina talked about because, as you all know, my team is the one that puts in the standard itinerary language that we've kind of tried to standardize so that it would be good for every company, but not everybody, wants our standard language. So that really takes a little bit of pressure off my team. And another thing that I wanted to mention was we rolled out an update price button. So when you are building proposals or have already built a proposal, maybe you haven't sold it yet, you haven't sent it to the client, and all of a sudden a little blue button shows up that says update price. And that tells you in real time when my team enters a new price for that specific price that you already have in your proposal. It's something we have thought about for, since we started GTO, and how once you build a proposal, how do you know now that we now have 2024 pricing, or maybe we got 2025 pricing already? That update price button will tell you in real time. We've tested it literally, I think, on a test trip, and as soon as I put it in, they refreshed their screen and it showed up. So it's a great feature. We did a coach and go on that as well. I remind you that it doesn't always happen. It depends on if the supplier changed something year over year. We don't want to use that because we don't want you to think that it's the exact same. But if it goes up a couple bucks, if what you used is pretty much the same other than the price, that is when we use our fancy coding in the background to tell you, hey, we have, an updated price for that year. So I think that's a really great feature on top of what everybody else has talked about to make it a little more user-friendly and based off some feedback that we've heard from our members.
Absolutely. And it's funny because doing demos for new prospective members, we hear a lot of times that they're working so far out to build these things. And so it's one of the things that they're asking for is like, how do we know that the pricing we used when we were building it is the pricing that we have now before I actually send that out? And so for them to be able to go and see that there are these little update pricing buttons, if it has changed, is it's a time saver for them. They don't have to go into each and every product and check. They just see whichever ones have that, and they can go in and very quickly update. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, we think about it all the time too with supplier requests. Oftentimes it takes a day or two or a lot longer for a supplier maybe to answer for whatever we're asking for. So if you put in a supplier request, say you use the 2023 price, but you need a 2024 price, you went ahead and used the 2023 price. Not only are you going to get the notification when we close the supplier request, but you're also going to be able to see in real time that we did get that updated price from the supplier to be able to close your request. So it helps in a number of different ways.
Right. And it's one of the things. Go ahead.
Am I right also that when you copy a trip, say last year's trip that you copy onto a new trip, those update prices will show up on the copied trip as well, so that you know to update that price? You should really look at all of them, but at least you would know not to look. You don't have to look those up because you can automatically update those prices too, right?
Yes, and it's as easy as clicking the button.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's very good. Again, people are so concerned about the accuracy of what they're sending out, and this just gives them an extra little step that they can follow. So thanks for the input. And I did want to say, just a reminder to any of our members that are watching, if you are sending in a a supplier request, send us any information that you have. So if you do have something that they've sent to you, send that as well. Just because sometimes, as Sierra said, and we've all run into this because we've all reached out to certain suppliers, there are times when they're not necessarily responding in a timely manner, shall we say. So if you have information that you can send to us, at least it gives us a little bit of information that we can start with when we're reaching out to them, saying that we did receive this from this company and we want to make sure that this is correct and get this information in. So send us what you have. And it makes life a little bit easier for Sierra and her team, definitely. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, and this is something that I don't really need to show, but it's something that happened because we kept getting help desk requests for this, and that's auto updating of trip dates. We know that sometimes days change on trips by a couple of days here and there, or people have decided I'm not going to travel this time, I'm going to travel at this time. We used to have buttons in there that you would push that would hopefully update those dates. But now Christina and team have gone in and we've made it so it automatically happens. So we have auto trip updates. And Christina, I'm sorry, am I oversimplifying what is actually happening behind the scenes? Or, I think it's amazing.
Well, there's always more that happens behind the scenes, but that is what happens for the user.
Great. So, that's one of the things. And again, you guys have sent us information about stuff that you need with it. So it's been built in that way. Another thing I wanted to call out, and this is something that I'm going to show a little clip on, is just a couple weeks ago, we launched something new. So take a look at this.
Group Travel Radio is a podcast that brings the world of group travel to you. Tap into conversations that will improve your destination knowledge, spotlight travel trends, and keep you up to date with what's going on in the group travel industry. Listen to Group Travel Radio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
So we are very happy about Group Travel Radio, and it's something that we've got quite a bit of content in there. And actually, our content creators are constantly reaching out to destinations and experts in the industry to talk about different topics that deal with group travel. Hence the name Group Travel Radio. So again, make sure to follow it wherever you do listen to your podcasts. Once you subscribe to that, we get a notification as well. So we have our weekly updates that we go through, as well as some, like I said, some really great content from experts in the group travel industry. So make sure to follow Group Travel Radio. I know we've got trade shows coming up as well. Sierra, what would you like to say about our trade show app?
Yes, I'm excited to join a lot of you at ABA this year. I know we saw a lot of folks last year at ABA, and while the trade show app is not new this year, we did have a lot of new users using the app. And I just want to give a shout out to all of the folks from the trade show floor that have been using it. We have had members. This is something I didn't even do, but we have had a couple members now that have snapped pictures of all those lovely PDFs that you get from suppliers and industry partners at the trade shows, literally attached it to that appointment, typed in their notes, and moved on to their next, speed dating app or a speed dating person. And so that has given us so much information. I mean, we just finished going through NTA appointments from some of our members, and I was able to look at what they snapped a picture of, pull any important information in, put it into the supplier app, and it really helps keep the supplier information up to date, not only with context, with pricing, any new things that they're offering, everything that you get from a trade show. Now, not only does it help my team, but it also is there for your company to see at any time. And so I was going, through some appointments just yesterday from a trade show, and there was some very company specific information that this, member typed in, and that company will be able to reference that. And, as long as they're a member of Group Travel Odyssey, so that will be forever. Right. So it's good for my team. It's good for their team. And I just really want to give a shout out to everybody that's used it. And a reminder that ABA appointments, I believe, will be released on Friday.
Yes.
And our team has the ability to now upload instead of hand enter, which I think I did maybe 2 years ago for CITA, hundreds of appointments. So if we can get your appointment list, if you want, in an Excel sheet format, we can actually upload, attach the supplier you're meeting with, attach the contact if we have it in GTO, in time order. And so you have a full list of your appointments right in front of you. You can use it on your phone, your iPad. I set up with my computer, and I just click. I'm like, okay, I'm 9:15. This is who I'm meeting with. I type in my notes. You can take a picture if you want, upload it, all of those things, and get rid of all of the paper. And you don't have to, fly home with all of that. And you have an accurate reading. There are some times where I looked at my notes from one trade show and I couldn't even read my own handwriting. Well, I can read my typing. So send in your lists after Friday if you can. We're going to ask, for at least a week before ABA, but knowing that they're coming out soon, if you want to pull those down in an Excel, send them in. We're happy to get those trade show appointments in for you for the betterment of everybody.
Absolutely.
I used it for when I went to CITA for our company, and what was really cool was I just hauled my iPad around with me, right? I mean, you could do it on your laptop, you could do it on an iPad. Some people use their phones. I mean, it's a great feature.
Absolutely. And a reminder, there have been coach and goes dealing with trade show appointments. So make sure to go and watch that coach and go so you can figure out how how this whole system actually works. And then if you do have questions, of course, you can contact us. You can contact any of us. You can actually send something to our help desk saying that you need a little help with how this whole thing gets set up, and we can go ahead and reach out and help you with that. But again, the sooner we get it, the easier it is to get everything loaded in for you and get it loaded in properly. And for any of you who have done these trade shows, and especially on the operator side of things, you have so many appointments and everybody gives you one of those lovely profile sheets that you put in that massive notebook. Imagine not having to take that notebook home with you. Well, this gives you that ability so we can get everything put into the system so you don't have to carry that notebook around. You don't have to pay to have it shipped back. So, make sure to utilize this as well. What else do we want to talk about that happened over this past year, GTO wise?
I wanted to mention some things that people don't necessarily know or see or about you all. Really.
Uh-oh.
So I wanted everyone listening to sort of understand the dedication of the staff at GTO and sort of the things that they do to go above and beyond. Like, for instance, Christina and the development team worked late into the night because some of the things they do can't be done during the business day. So I'll see activity and things done at midnight, at 1 o'clock in the morning, because that's the time that people aren't on our system at the moment to get things done. And that's above and beyond the call of duty, right? Sierra and her team, and you may not know this, but when a price changes in the middle of the year, a supplier decides, hey, they're gonna just change the price mid-year. Sierra goes through and sees what proposals those are on and informs you that it's happened, and then tries to go back to that vendor and say, hey, look, we've got these trips that are on there, right? We can't guarantee that they'll do it, but she's going to bat for you at collectively, right? And Jim, you and the sales staff, I know that everybody sees you on the various different places. You're on this podcast, you're on this show, right? You're doing all those things, but I don't know that all of them know that you guys take the time to organize a community of kindness campaign at every ABA to do something for the community that we're going to. That's above and beyond the call of duty as far as just building something here. So when we talk about community, we actually mean it as far as like, we're a community. We want you to be part of our community. We want them to be part of our community. It's not just words we say, it's a vision that we live by as we progress through the year. So when we call this a year in review, I would be remiss not to mention the things that you all do to go sort of beyond just the normal, this is my job. And I want to publicly thank you all for doing that. And I hope that people who are watching will also take the time to publicly thank you for your work in that business. So that's what I'm going to say.
Well, thank you, Corey. Thank you so much.
We all, our whole staff crew volunteered in the Smoky Mountains this year, which was really fun, but also to give back to the community, and we all really enjoyed that, I believe.
Yeah, it's one of the things that, you know, it's all very well and good to have a system that we all absolutely 100% believe in, because it just creates this ease of doing things. But, you know, we realize community is so much more than that. And so throughout the year, we've got projects and stuff that we do that help communities. And, you know, we worked with some operators in Hawaii when there were the fires in Maui. There are things that, you know, we feel as a community, we have so much more strength if we work together. And that's why, you know, we talk to you all the time about being the back end workers for your company that you don't see, but we're back here. We're here supporting you, and we're here making sure you have everything that you need. And that means, you know, if there are things going on in your own community that you need help with, you can contact us, because we will try to pull the support of the entire GTO community together to help you out. So, you know, it's something that's very important to all of us. So also want to say that we've talked about how we do these GTO Coach and Go, and we do GTO Fast Breaks, which give you the information on updates and tips and ways to use the system that kind of make things more efficient. I want to remind you, and I talk about community forum a lot. In GTO, there is the community forum. If you haven't gone in there, go. One of the reasons you should go, if you ever have people who need a little bit of a review on how things work, or if you have somebody that you've just hired into your company, go to community forum, and at the top, you will see a media tab. Click that media button, and you have an entire list of all of the Coach and Goes and all of the Fast Breaks, including the YouTube link right there. So you don't have to go to YouTube, which you can go to YouTube to the Group Travel Odyssey channel. But you can also go to Community Forum, and you have everything right there in front of you. So if you're working on something and you just click over to Community Forum and go to the media and watch the thing that you needed help with, you're still in GTO. You're still there. So you can click back to what you were working on after watching it. And then, you know, you can go ahead and proceed. So we try to make it as easy as possible for you to have all of that stuff at your fingertips as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for coming on today. And it's hard to believe another year is coming to a close. This is the last Coach and Go that we're doing this year. We will be back with new and fresh content in January. Again, if you need anything, reach out to us. You can contact us through our website. All of our contact information is on the website. You can also reach out to the help desk and put help in the title when you're reaching out to us. And we want to thank you again for being a part of this growing and fantastic community. And we need your feedback. So make sure to continue with that as well. Sierra, Christina, Corey, thank you so much. We will see you later on, and we'll definitely see you tomorrow for the GTO virtual holiday party. Yay! Thanks, everybody, and have a fantastic holiday.
Holidays, everybody.
Thank you for watching this episode of GTO Coach and Go. We invite you to stay connected with Group Travel Odyssey on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and be sure to check out more of our media, including Destination Dispatch and the Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Please visit our website, grouptravelodyssey.com, where you can learn more about GTO and request a demo. Group Travel Odyssey, business without boundaries.